I think we are on the precipice of two companies defining two $10 trillion industries. The two companies I'm talking about, they are not small caps. They're actually very well known. Number one is Google. Number two, Meta, aka Facebook. Let me show you what I mean. In the past, virtual reality has been a hobbyist pursuit, something that really never caught the mainstream media and the mainstream market's attention. But in the last 2 years, it has changed. As you can see, the first time ever in 2024, Meta came out and released numbers for their VR headsets. And it was 7.4. Nothing too extreme to look at, only a measly $2.5 billion. Apple came out with their own Vision Pro and they barely cracked 1 million in sales, barely equaling $2 billion. But since the start of this year, something has changed a lot. Both companies have far exceeded their expectations for what they would have delivered up until the first 9 months of the year. Apple delivered 0.4 million in sales. Now, this is obviously not up to Apple's expectation, but they didn't even think they'd be delivering this many units until this point. And Meta, they've just been crushing it. And I feel like Meta is close to defining this market, and this is an arms race. Now, if they can define this technology with the actual use cases for mainstream, this industry is a $10 trillion industry, and Meta will take half of that industry by itself. I am not even kidding. I don't think Apple can even compete, barely able to compete with Meta right now when the market is basically just two main players and Sony doing something with PlayStation. What do you think is going to happen when they actually deliver something that is eye-catching? It is going to bankrupt Apple's pursuit. And the next I want to talk about is self-driving cars. Waymo, aka Google, has been absolutely crushing it. Before 2024, they barely had 100 cars. They took a huge gamble with Waymo and told them to go release 1,000 cars. They were expecting this number to fail. They were expecting contraction. They were expecting the worst. But something even crazier happened. Not only did Waymo deliver, but mass adoption has been on another level. Look at that all 1,000 self-driving cars that are on the road are still operational and functional. And not only that, they added another $500. As where Tesla has been slacking, and I'm going to say this, not a lot of positive reviews. People are loving Waymo to a point where Waymo is saying they're going to have over 3,000 cars by the beginning of 2026. This means from now until the start of the year, they're going to double this unit count to 3,000. So Waymo has been an absolute success. Now, this is not like robotics. Robotics, it has no sales, has no unit, has no product. These companies have products, they have sales, they have customer feedback telling them what they're doing, what they're delivering is on another level. I believe you should have a wild card bet about 10% of your portfolio in any one of these companies. I personally have Google and I'm going to build up Meta, but I feel like if any one of these companies can hit it, and I guarantee you one of these companies is going to hit that mark and is going to add $5 trillion to their market cap, I believe they're going to take half the market. It's going to be a $10 trillion market, self-driving car. Waymo is taking half of it. Virtual reality itself is also going to be a $10 trillion market, and I believe Meta is taking half of it. Now, Apple might have something to say about that, but Apple is spending all their money on stock buybacks instead of actually, developing like everyone else says. They don't even have a capable LLM that can handle basic tasks. How is Apple going to compete with Meta? Having a platform dominance isn't just good enough anymore. You gotta innovate at this point. Plus, once you have something over your eyes, you don't need a second screen. You don't need a watch. You don't need a laptop. You don't need a phone. If all your computational and daily use is in your glasses, you don't need anything else.